instinct, where primal fear returns with the dawn. After decades without a top predator, the roar of the lion once again echoes across the Akagera savanna. Morning light cuts through the tall grass, revealing the cautious steps of zebras, wildebeests, giraffes, rhinos, and troops of baboons. They had grown used to a fragile peace, but now, every whisper in the wind carries a warning. There is no room for complacency. Every species must relearn an ancient lesson, the instinct to survive. This isn't just the return of a species. It's the rebirth of fear, of instinct, and of nature's unbreakable law. Live, survive, and adapt. Welcome to the wildlife documentary, Wild Instinct, Fear on the Savannah. As the radiant dawn breaks, the Akagera savanna stirs to life. Every rustle in the grass, every fleeting shadow awakens a primal instinct, fear. But fear is not weakness. It is the spark of life. Fear sharpens the senses, quickens the heartbeat, and primes the legs to flee. Without fear, there is no survival. In this wild land, where every moment is a test, the harsh laws of nature are being redefined. Fear is the invisible thread that binds all creatures to their perilous world, from the quiet grazing zebra to the ever-watchful wildebeest. Every animal knows life hangs by a fragile thread. A strange sound, a sudden breeze, these are warnings passed down through generations. Run, hide, or face death. This is nature's immutable law. To survive, one must fear, adapt, and fight to live another day. Rwanda, the land of 1,000 hills, where the Akagera savanna stretches out like a peaceful canvas of nature. Endless grasslands shimmer under the sun, home to zebras, wildebeests, hippos, and giraffes. For decades, Akagera was a tranquil oasis, free from the roar of predators. No lions, no leopards, no hyenas, only a seductive calm, where herbivores flourished without fear. But what was the cost of this peace? Without predators, herbivore populations exploded, pushing the ecosystem to the brink of imbalance. Zebras and antelope fought for every blade of grass. Hippos crowded into muddy waters, and rhinos trudged through increasingly barren land. The survival instincts that once guided them through millions of years began to fade in the comfort of false security. But nature does not tolerate imbalance. The roar of lions shattered the silence. Akagera was no longer a safe haven. Fear had returned, bringing with it the unforgiving law of nature: adapt or disappear. In 2015, 7 lions were reintroduced to Akagera from South Africa, a milestone that shook the savanna. Since then, through additional relocations and natural births, their numbers have grown into a thriving pride. These apex predators, armed with sharp claws and piercing eyes, carry the scent of danger. Their roars echo across the plains, awakening a long-dormant fear. For zebras, wildebeests, and giraffes, the scent of death now rides the wind. For the first time in decades, herbivores are faced with a new reality. Death is always near. Zebras that once grazed leisurely now startle at every sound. Wildebeests, long accustomed to calm days, must relearn how to flee. Hippos no longer float unbothered in the river, and even rhinos, armored in thick hides, stay wary of these new hunters. Every step, every glance behind is laced with a reawakened survival instinct. Before and after the lions, these are two completely different worlds. The grasslands are no longer a sanctuary, but a battlefield, where every moment is a fight between life and death. The return of lions has not only restored natural order, but rewritten Akagera's story, a tale of fear, adaptation, and the enduring power of instinct. Not just lions. In 2017, Akagera also welcomed back the black rhino, a species once locally extinct. Together, they are restoring the ancient balance and raw power of this ecosystem. Fear has become the new rule of the game, and every creature in Akagera must learn to adapt in order to survive. Young rhinos, topi antelope, vervet monkeys, wildebeests, and elephants. Each species has its own way of confronting fear, shaped both by instinct and by learning. Fear is not merely an emotion, it is a survival tool, honed through constant threats in the natural world. From the moment they are born, young rhinos carry an innate sense of alertness. But true fear begins to take shape the first time they hear the howls of hyenas, a sound that signals danger. Calves, closely following their mothers, quickly learn to recognize this sound. When the howls ring out, the mother rhino often stops, her ears pivoting to pinpoint the direction of the threat. Though the calf may not fully understand, it senses the tension and starts to remember. Hyenas, with their numbers and razor-sharp teeth, pose a serious threat to young rhinos. With each howl, the calf learns how to respond, when to stay still beside its mother, when to run. The instinctual fear they are born with is sharpened through experience, helping them grow into armored warriors capable of facing danger head-on. Topi antelope live on vast open grasslands, where predators like lions, cheetahs, and hyenas constantly lie in wait. To survive, they have developed a collective vigilance system. Within the herd, certain individuals act as sentinels, standing on raised ground to monitor every movement. When danger is spotted, they emit warning calls that immediately set the entire herd in motion. From an early age, young topis learn to listen for these alarm signals. As soon as they can walk, they're already reacting to the calls, sprinting toward their mothers or the herd with remarkable speed. In the world of topi, fear is not just a personal reflex, but a coordinated effort, where each member plays a part in protecting the group. Vervet monkeys possess a complex alarm system, almost a language of fear. They produce 4 distinct alarm calls, each tailored to a specific threat: cheetahs, snakes, eagles, and rival monkeys. When one monkey spots danger, it gives a unique vocal cue, prompting the entire group to respond instantly. Climbing trees to escape a cheetah scanning the ground for snakes or looking skyward for raptors. Young monkeys learn these alarm calls from their mothers and other group members. At first, they may misinterpret the sounds, but through observation and repetition, they gradually grasp the meaning of each one. This alarm system not only helps vervets survive, but also reveals the depth of fear. It is not merely instinct, but a skill learned and passed down. Wildebeests roam open plains where threats come from all directions. Lions, cheetahs, hyenas, and even crocodiles at waterholes. To prepare their calves for these dangers, mother wildebeests use a unique strategy, teaching through play. From just a few weeks old, calves are encouraged to join in chasing and running games. These playful activities not only serve to distract predators, but also build strength, agility, and coordination. These games are survival lessons in disguise. Mothers lead their calves to areas with low grass where they can run and jump freely. Here, the young learn to accelerate quickly, change direction swiftly, and maintain distance from potential predators. More importantly, they learn to observe, picking up on subtle signs like rustling grass or unusual shadows. Sometimes mothers pretend to dash off, prompting their calves to follow, building both stamina and reflexes. Over time, these calves become skilled runners, capable of reaching speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour and leaping distances of up to 10 meters. In the wildebeest's world, fear becomes a practical skill. The young not only learn how to run, but also how to stay calm under pressure, recognize threats, and rely on the strength of the herd to survive. These lessons, passed on through sunlit play sessions, form the foundation for calves to grow into agile adults ready for the brutal chases of the wild. Elephants, with their exceptional memory and complex social structure, approach fear in a unique way, a blend of innate instinct and generational wisdom. From a young age, calves are taught by the herd, led by the oldest female, to recognize and respond to danger. Threats such as lions, leopards, or the presence of humans are remembered and communicated through behaviors and signals. When a mother elephant senses danger, such as the scent of a lion or an unusual sound, she will stop, stomp her feet, or emit a deep rumble to alert the herd. Though the calf may not fully understand the message, it mimics its mother's behavior, staying close to her legs or grouping with other herd members. Over time, it learns that these signals mean danger. The herd moves as a single unit, with adult females often forming a circle around the calves when threatened. This behavior not only protects the young, but teaches them how to react in the face of danger. The matriarch, usually the oldest female, acts as a living library of knowledge. With decades of memory, she remembers exactly where danger has occurred, a past lion attack site, or a region known for human presence. These memories are passed down through actions, such as guiding the herd away from risky paths or stopping to assess a situation. Calves observe and internalize these lessons, gradually building a mental map of what to fear and how to respond. For elephants, fear is not just a momentary reaction, it's a collective knowledge system. An adult elephant can recognize the scent of a predator from several kilometers away, or recall a dangerous encounter from many years before. These lessons, handed down through generations, help elephants not only survive, but maintain a tightly knit social structure in which each member plays a role in the herd's safety. From rhino calves learning to fear hyena calls, to topi antelopes relying on vigilant sentinels, vervet monkeys with their alarm call language, wildebeests teaching through play, and elephants with their collective memory. Each species shows that fear is an essential part of life. It is both a deeply rooted instinct, yadchit into every cell, and a learned lesson passed down through generations. In the wild, fear is not a weakness. It is a strength that enables species to adapt, survive, and evolve over millions of years. In the golden orange light of dawn in Akagera, lions move silently through the tall grass, their eyes locked onto a target. Warthogs, with their bristly coats and sharp tusks, are formidable prey. They often travel in family groups, armed with keen senses and the will to fight back when cornered. African buffalo, with their massive frames and dangerous curved horns, are even greater challenges. A fully grown buffalo can weigh over 1 metric ton and is not easily brought down. Lions typically target calves or the weak, but even then, they face fierce resistance from the entire herd. Young elephants, though well protected by their herd, become vulnerable when they stray from the group's circle. Even so, a young elephant's sheer size and strength pose a real threat to any lion daring enough to make a move. Each hunt must be calculated carefully. Lions in Akagera rely not only on brute strength, but on strategy. They often hunt at dusk, using the fading light and shadows to their advantage. But prey does not simply wait to die. They fight back, flee, or resist. Each hunt becomes a test of patience, speed, and survival instinct. In the Akagera ecosystem, the relationship between predators and scavengers forms a tense interaction chain. a mix of fear and opportunity. Vultures, with their razor-sharp vision and ability to soar hundreds of meters high, are the scouts of Akagera. They are often the first to detect a carcass, whether it's a zebra swept away by floodwaters, a wildebeest fallen to drought, or remains left by a lion pride. When they spot a meal, they begin circling in the sky, forming visible spirals that signal a clear message. These circling flights are not only signs of opportunity but warnings, drawing the attention of other scavengers and predators. Though not hunters themselves, vultures live in a constant state of alert. They must watch for hyenas, leopards, and lions, who may drive them away from the carcass. To survive, vultures rely on patience and numbers. A large group of vultures can swarm and claim scraps when a lone hyena departs, but they almost never dare challenge a lion or leopard directly. Instead, they wait, perched on dead trees or circling above, ready to swoop down for leftovers. Young vultures, in their first encounters at feeding sites, learn to maintain safe distances and recognize danger signs, like the growl of a lion or the howl of a hyena. Over time, they master the art of seizing food in chaos, turning fear into a survival strategy. Hyenas, with a sense of smell that can detect carrion from several kilometers away, are quick to arrive after the vulture's signal. They are not just scavengers, they are powerful hunters, capable of taking down zebras, wildebeests, and, in rare cases, even young elephants. Their eerie, high-pitched calls echo across the Akagera plains, a form of communication, but also a challenge to rivals. In this interaction chain, hyenas are opportunists. They steal from leopards and fight vultures for remains. But they live in fear of lions, the apex predator. A lone hyena stands little chance against a mature lion. However, in large clans, often 10 to 20 individuals, hyenas can overpower even a small group of lions. They use coordination and numbers to force lions off a kill. Though such battles come with high risk, a single swipe from a lion can be fatal. Young hyenas learn by observing their mothers and the clan in action. They watch how calls summon reinforcements, how to make quick raids, and when to retreat at the sound of a lion's roar. Fear doesn't suppress them, it sharpens them. They develop tactics, group attacks, constant movement to avoid being surrounded, and seizing every chance to feed. In Akagera, hyenas embody persistence and adaptability, turning fear into collective strength. Leopards, with their speed and agility, are solitary hunters of Akagera. They tend to avoid direct confrontation with lions or hyenas, preferring stealth hunts at night or from within dense grass. Their targets include topi antelope, young zebras, and warthogs, using bursts of speed up to 60 kilometers per hour to launch surprise attacks. However, leopards are also skilled scavengers, sometimes stealing kills from careless hyenas. A leopard's fear is losing its prey to more powerful competitors. A solitary leopard cannot stand against a hyena clan or a lion pride, so it learns to drag its kill into trees for safety. Young leopards, following their mothers in early years, learn this technique quickly. They observe how she stalks prey, picks moments to scavenge, and retreats swiftly when danger nears. Fear of losing food or being attacked teaches leopards to act precisely, relying on stealth and speed to survive the tense predator dynamics of Akagera. Leopards also face fear from the environment. During the dry season, prey is scarce, forcing them to take greater risks, sometimes approaching waterholes frequented by lions and hyenas. In the wet season, mud and floods limit their mobility. These challenges push leopards to adapt, hunt under difficult conditions, and pass these survival lessons to the next generation. The chain of interaction between vultures, hyenas, leopards, and lions in Akagera is a constant contest of fear and opportunity. Vultures fear being chased off, but wait patiently. Hyenas fear lions, but rely on numbers. Leopards fear both hyenas and lions, but use stealth and speed. Lions, despite their dominance, fear losing prey and power. Each species turns fear into a survival strategy. Vultures with patience, hyenas with teamwork, leopards with agility, and lions with authority. These lessons are passed down through generations. Young vultures learn timing. Young hyenas learn cooperation, young leopards learn stealth, and young lions learn to defend territory. In Akagera, no species reigns unchallenged. All are shaped by fear, not only of rivals, but of the unforgiving wild, from seasonal drought to climate-driven floods. Yet no creature feels the weight of fear more than those called kings of the savannah. In lion prides, lionesses are pillars of strength, not only hunters, but guardians of future generations. When a lioness gives birth, the pride welcomes the cubs with devoted care. With wide eyes and wobbly steps, these newborns bring new energy to the pride. Lionesses usually give birth in thick brush or secluded areas to protect cubs from threats like hyenas, leopards, or even rival lions. Yet the joy of new life is shadowed by constant fear. Lion cubs are vulnerable and easy prey. Lionesses stay alert, ready to roar or fight to defend them. This fear is not just instinct. It's a learned lesson passed from experienced females. Lionesses teach cubs to hide, to recognize danger, and to rely on the pride. Through these early months, cubs learn that fear is what makes them stronger, preparing them for the harsh life ahead. The arrival of young male lions poses a grave threat to the pride. These males, often exiled from their birth prides upon maturity, roam in search of territory and take over opportunities. When they challenge an established pride, their goal is not only dominance, but genetic succession. This leads to a brutal yet common behavior in lion society: killing the cubs of previous males. Lionesses, driven by maternal instinct, become fierce defenders. They snarl, bare their teeth, and sometimes fight to protect their young. But a lone lioness is rarely a match for a determined male. The fear of losing cubs compels lionesses to band together, forming a defensive barrier. Still, if the young males succeed, they will kill the cubs to trigger a new breeding cycle and ensure their genes are passed on. This fear affects the whole pride. Surviving cubs learn that safety lies in unity, and they must grow quickly to face future threats. In the lion world, alliances are essential, yet they can unravel into conflict. Lionesses usually stay within their natal pride for life, forming tight bonds with sisters, mothers, and daughters. But competition and environmental stress may drive some to split off, forming new groups. Such a move is dangerous. Lone lionesses are vulnerable to predators or attacks from rival prides. Aging males, once leaders, face exile as younger, stronger rivals rise. The fear of being overthrown drives older males to fiercely defend their territory and dominance. Betrayal also looms large. Male coalitions may break when interests diverge. A weaker male may be abandoned or attacked if he no longer serves the group. These conflicts are not just about strength, but survival lessons. Fear of isolation and rejection forces lions to maintain alliances, but also remain wary of betrayal. For lions, the fear of losing cubs, territory, or rank fuels every action. Lionesses fear for their young. Young males fear rejection when challenging a pride, and aging males fear exile. Even in moments of triumph, a mighty roar, a buffalo kill, fear is ever present, sharpening instincts and determination. And beyond them, fear writes a different tale, the deadly migration of the herbivore herds. When the dry season arrives and the grasslands of Akagera wither, zebras and wildebeests are forced to move in search of richer pastures. Zebras, with their black and white stripes, travel in large herds, ears pricked and eyes scanning for danger. Wildebeests, muscular with curved horns, also gather in numbers, bracing for the trials ahead. The journey begins with tight coordination. Zebras rely on herd size for safety, with led animals scouting for signs of predators like lions, hyenas, or leopards. Wildebeests, known for their boldness, assign strong individuals as guards to protect against surprise attacks. Both species carry a deep-rooted fear of predators, but this fear fuels action, swifter movement, sharper alertness, and stronger group cohesion. Calves, only a few months old, must keep pace. They learn from mothers and herd mates how to stay in formation, recognize warning signals, and respond to danger. For young zebras and wildebeests, migration is not just a quest for food. It is a survival school where fear becomes the first lesson. The climax of migration comes at the rivers, where crocodiles lie in wait. These waterways, with their strong currents and hidden shallows, are the ultimate trial. Nile crocodiles, with razor-sharp jaws and camouflage under muddy water, are deadly predators. They float silently, only their eyes breaking the surface, waiting to strike. As herds approach the riverbanks, tension builds. Lead animals pause, ears up, eyes scanning the water. Some calves, unfamiliar with crocodile threats, press close to their mothers, sensing danger. Then, as if triggered by an unseen cue, the herd surges forward. Water splashes, alarm calls echo, panic ripples through the group. Crocodiles strike with lightning speed. A zebra or wildebeest is dragged under, vanishing in a burst of water and violence. Yet many survive, by speed, by chaos, or by luck. Wildebeests, with strength and a willingness to fight back, sometimes wound crocodiles mid-attack. Zebras, in overwhelming numbers, create confusion that hampers the predator's aim. Each river crossing is a test of courage and unity, where fear drives desperate survival. For young zebras, migration is their first encounter with real danger. From birth, they learn to run, but crossing a river is their greatest challenge. At the water's edge, they hesitate, sensing threats and strange ripples or eerie noises. But they have no choice: cross or be left behind. Mothers lead the way. They go first, urging their foals with close contact, sometimes nudging with their muzzles. As the herd plunges in, young zebras learn to stay close to their mothers or remain in the center of the group, where protection is greatest. Those who survive their first crossing carry memories of fear, the splash of water, the panic, the loss. These memories become lessons, making them quicker, sharper, and more vigilant in future migrations. Fear, for a young zebra, is not a weakness. It is a fuel for growth. With each crossing, they learn to manage their instincts, align with the herd, and face danger without freezing. These lessons, passed down through mothers and herdmates, shape them into resilient adults ready for the harsh tests of Akagera. The migration across Akagera is a testament to fear's power. Zebras and wildebeests, facing crocodiles and countless other threats, survive not just through instinct, but through learned experience and herd unity. Young zebras, surviving deadly crossings, turn fear into fuel for endurance. In Akagera's wild world, fear is not a flaw, but a strength, passed from one generation to the next, enabling species to adapt and endure in a realm of constant peril. But fear is only part of the story, because in Akagera, nature itself can be harsher than any predator. Climate change has made Akagera's dry seasons harsher, longer, and hotter. Average temperatures have risen, turning grasslands into cracked, arid ground with withered vegetation and dwindling water sources. Small lakes in the park, such as Lake Ihema, have shrunk significantly, forcing zebras, wildebeests, and buffalo to gather at the remaining waterholes, where the risk of Nile crocodile or hyena attacks increases. Zebras, which rely on numbers for protection, must travel farther to find water and fresh grass. These journeys exhaust them, especially the young, who are unaccustomed to the intense heat. Wildebeests, naturally aggressive, organize sentinels to guard the herd while drinking, but the scarcity of water increases tension and internal conflict. The fear of thirst and predation drives both species to travel during the early morning or late evening, when temperatures are cooler, coordinating closely to avoid predators. Smaller animals like topi antelope and vervet monkeys face even greater challenges. Tapis compete fiercely for the last patches of grass, while vervets climb sparse trees in search of fruit or leaves. Young ones, experiencing their first extended dry season, learn from their mothers how to find scarce food and avoid dangerous zones. The fear of heat and scarcity teaches patience and survival skills, though many do not endure without sufficient resilience. Climate change has made rainfall in Akagera increasingly erratic. Some years bring prolonged drought, others sudden, intense flooding. Heavy rains, lasting for days, transform grasslands into mudflats and overflow rivers like the Akagera River. Thunderclaps and strong winds trigger instinctive fear in all species. Floods can sweep away even strong animals, destroy shelters, and disrupt traditional migration routes. Small animals like topis and vervet monkeys often panic when storms hit. Topis scatter, sometimes getting trapped in mud or separated from their herds. Vervets climb trees to escape rising waters, but strong winds and lightning make these shelters dangerous. The young learn from their mothers to find caves or sturdy trees, but many do not survive unexpected floods. Fear of storms teaches rapid response, but increasingly erratic weather makes survival harder. Elephants, with their superior memory and unity, face floods by relying on the matriarch's experience. When signs of a storm appear, the lead female signals the herd to regroup, protecting calves at the center. She guides them to higher ground, away from flood-prone rivers. Calves learn to stay calm, cling to their mothers, and read flood signs, like rising water or soft ground. This unity helps elephants endure storms, but with more frequent flooding, even the strongest must adapt. Buffalo, Akagera's formidable giants, also display group strength during floods. When storms hit, they gather in large herds, with dominant males leading them out of submerged zones. If trapped in mud, they work together to pull one another free, using brute strength to survive nature's wrath. The fear of flooding does not scatter them, it binds them, forging survival through unity. Climate change not only brings immediate threats, but gradually reshapes Akagera's ecosystem. The decline of grasslands and water sources affects herbivores like zebras and wildebeests, which in turn impacts predators such as lions and hyenas. Migratory birds, dependent on Akagera's lakes, also face risk from drying waters or erratic floods. Vegetation, especially drought-sensitive species, is vanishing, reducing shelter for vervet monkeys and smaller animals. Fear of these changes forces adaptation. Elephants, with long-term memory, adjust migration routes to avoid drought or flood-prone areas. Buffalo learn to seek new pastures. Young zebras and wildebeests, hardened by harsh seasons, learn from their herds how to find new resources and cooperate to survive. These lessons, born of fear, are the key to continuing life in a changing ecosystem. Since 2010, when African Parks partnered with the Rwanda Development Board, RDB, to manage Akagera National Park, conservation efforts have brought significant change. One major success was the reintroduction of lions and black rhinos, restoring the Big Five: lions, leopards, elephants, rhinos, and buffalo. Conservation programs focus on three pillars: anti-poaching, habitat protection, and sustainable community development. Poaching was once a major threat to rhinos and elephants, hunted for horns and ivory. In response, a highly trained anti-poaching team now uses technology like drones and monitoring systems to detect illegal activity. Fencing part of the park helps prevent poacher entry and protects animals like buffalo and wildebeest. These efforts have significantly reduced poaching, allowing black rhinos to begin recovery. Climate change threatens herbivores by degrading grasslands and water sources. Akagera's conservation projects aim to restore the ecosystem, replanting native trees, protecting wetlands, and maintaining water during dry seasons. Lakes like Ihema are closely monitored to ensure wildlife access and reduce conflict at waterholes. These efforts help not only herbivores, but also predators like lions and leopards who depend on abundant prey. Human-wildlife conflict, like elephants damaging crops or buffalo attacking livestock, remains a challenge. Akagera has launched community programs to reduce conflict, such as training locals as guides, rangers, or engaging them in sustainable farming projects. A portion of tourism revenue is reinvested into local communities, showing residents the value of protecting the park. Education programs also teach children the importance of conservation, inspiring a new generation of guardians. Today, Akagera is a story of coexistence, where people and wildlife share the journey of survival, a living proof that when we choose protection, nature responds with resilience and wild symphonies that never truly fade. As the sun sets behind Rwanda's hills, Akagera's savanna enters a new cycle of darkness and light. And there, nature's unchanging law still echoes: live, survive, and adapt. Like the video, share this journey of life and death from Ona Wild Animal Documentary, and subscribe to follow us through upcoming wildlife stories, where nature finds its voice in tales nearly forgotten.